Devin Walsh surveyed the San Francisco skyline from his corner office at Walsh Engineering Solutions. At 42, he had built his specialized engineering firm from a one-man operation in his garage to a $30 million company with government and military contracts. Not bad for a kid from Ridgemont whose father worked at the steel mill until it closed, leaving the family struggling. The intercom buzzed. "Mr. Walsh, your 2 o'clock is here," said Mia Reynolds, his executive assistant of 5 years. "Send them in, Mia. And can you make sure the Parker proposal is ready for tomorrow?" "Already done," she replied with quiet efficiency. Devin smiled. Mia was the backbone of his operation, loyal, sharp, and anticipating his needs before he voiced them. Unlike his wife of 8 years, who seemed to anticipate only how to spend his money. The meeting with the Defense Department representatives went well, securing a new contract that would keep Walsh Engineering profitable for years. Devin should have been elated, but the victory felt hollow. He checked his watch. 7:30 p.m. Veronica would be at another charity gal by now, networking as she called it. His phone buzzed with a text from her. "Don't wait up, dinner with the Prescotts and the foundation board." The Prescotts again. Lawrence Prescott was old money, and his son Noah had recently taken an interest in Veronica's Children's Literacy Foundation. Too much interest, Devin suspected. "Working late again?" Mia asked, coat in hand. "Ready to leave. Just wrapping up. Big win today." "Congratulations," she said, her warm brown eyes showing genuine happiness for his success. "You deserve it." After Mia left, Devin's phone rang. It was his sister Teresa. "Hey, Reese, what's up?" "Just checking in. Heard through the grapevine that Veronica's at another gal lab with the Prescott's crowd." Devin sighed. "The Children's Foundation Board, right?" Teresa said skeptically. "Dev, I've never interfered in your marriage, but then don't start now." He cut her off more sharply than intended. "Fine. Just remember what Dad always said. Trust must be earned. Betrayal is never forgiven." Devin finished. Their father's mantra drilled into them after their mother abandoned the family for her chiropractor. Later, driving his Tesla through the fog-shrouded streets to their Pacific Heights home, Devin reflected on his life. He had everything. Successful business. Beautiful home. Attractive wife. So why did everything feel so empty? The house was dark when he arrived. In the kitchen, he found a bottle of expensive bourbon, a gift from a contractor, and poured 2 fingers. Tomorrow was their anniversary, and he'd planned a surprise trip to Bora Bora. Maybe that would rekindle whatever they'd lost. As he headed upstairs, his phone chained with an email alert. A notification from his bank withdrawal confirmation. $50,000 to Harrington Holdings, Veronica's father's company. The failing company Devin had previously refused to bail out. He frowned. That withdrawal would require Veronica's signature. Strange she hadn't mentioned moving such a large sum. Just the first crack in the foundation of the life he thought he'd built. Devin awoke alone the next morning. Veronica's side of the bed was undisturbed. He checked his phone. No messages. Unusual. Even for her late nights. He showered and headed to his home office to finalize details for their anniversary trip. Veronica's laptop sat open on the coffee table in the adjoining sitting room. He needed their confirmation numbers, which she'd emailed to herself. As Devin moved the mouse to wake the computer, a notification popped up. From Sheffield Law Partners, subject, divorce strategy, asset division. Devin froze. His mind raced even as his body remained perfectly still. A mistake. Must be a mistake. He clicked the email. "Dear Mrs. Walsh, per our discussion, I recommend filing before your husband discovers the affairs. Massachusetts is in a fault state. And if he files with evidence of infidelity, it would impact asset division. As discussed, our strategy to secure the business interests, property holdings, and retirement accounts relies on filing first and establishing financial need. Your husband's long work hours and emotional neglect provided additional leverage." Devin's hand trembled as he scrolled down. "I want to take his business, house, and retirement before he discovers the affairs. Is that possible?" Veronica had written. The attorney's response was calculated. With proper strategy and timing, absolutely. White-hot anger flashed through Devin's body. He took a deep breath, suppressing the urge to throw the laptop across the room. Instead, he methodically began searching through her emails. What he found destroyed any doubt. Messages between Veronica and Noah Prescott dating back 18 months. Hotel receipts. Intimate photos. Plans for their future together once Noah's investment opportunity paid off with money from Devin's accounts. There were others too. A tennis instructor last summer. A chance encounter with an ex-boyfriend during a girl's trip to Vegas. Most damning were messages to her father, Victor Harrington. Daddy, the plan is working. Devin suspects nothing. Once I file for divorce, I'll control enough of his assets to save your company. Noah says once he gets the Walsh Engineering insider information to his investors, we'll be set for life. Devin sat back, ice replacing the fire in his veins. He'd been a fool. The withdrawals, the late nights, the sudden interest in his business contracts. It all made sense now. He forwarded everything to his personal email, then carefully returned the laptop to exactly where he'd found it. He called his attorney, Bennett Cole. Bennett, I need to see you. Today, don't talk to anyone about this meeting. 3 hours later, Devin sat in Bennett's office, watching his old college friend review the emails. Jesus Christ, Dev, Bennett finally said, removing his glasses. I've seen ugly divorces, but this level of calculation. I need options. Legally, file first with the evidence. Protect your assets immediately, but given what they're planning. Bennett hesitated. What? Devin pressed. They're not just coming after your money, Dev. They're targeting your business using insider information. That's criminal. We should talk to the FBI. Devin shook his head. Not yet. I need to know how deep this goes first. What are you thinking? Devin's expression hardened. I'm thinking it's time to remember everything my father taught me about dealing with betrayal. 3 steps. Devin told Bennett over breakfast at an out-of-the-way diner the next morning. Secure, prepare, disappear. Bennett looked skeptical. And Veronica won't notice? She thinks I'm planning our anniversary trip. Meanwhile, I'll be planning something very different. Step 1 began that afternoon. Devin opened new accounts at banks where they had no history. He transferred majority shareholdings in Walsh Engineering to a trust controlled by his sister Teresa, who was a federal judge, was beyond reproach. He moved retirement funds to protected accounts that couldn't be touched in a divorce. Is this legal? Mia asked when Devin had her prepared documentation for transferring company intellectual property to a new holding corporation. Completely, Devin assured her. I'm simply restructuring for tax purposes. The white line necessary to protect her. At home, Devin maintained a facade. He confirmed their anniversary dinner reservations, wrapped the diamond bracelet he'd bought months ago, and smiled when Veronica returned from foundation meetings, with Noah Prescott's cologne lingering on her clothes. Step 2 was evidence. Devin hired a private investigator who documented Veronica meeting Noah at an upscale hotel. He installed small cameras in their home office and bedroom while Veronica was at yoga. Within days, he had recordings of Veronica discussing divorce strategy on the phone with both her father and Noah. Devin's clueless. She laughed to Noah during one call. He's so wrapped up in his precious business. He hasn't even noticed the money I've been moving. By the time he figures it out, well, on half his company. The final betrayal came when Devin discovered Veronica had photographed confidential contract specifications from his home office and sent them to Noah, who was using the inside information for investment purposes. The night before their anniversary, Devin implemented Step 3. He informed Veronica he needed to fly to Washington for an emergency meeting with a military contractor. But our anniversary, she protested with well-practiced disappointment. I know, I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you, he promised, watching her eyes flicker with secret relief. She already had plans with Noah, he knew. Instead of flying to Washington, Devin drove to a remote lake house owned through a shell company that didn't appear in any of his financial records. Only to recent knew of its existence. Before disappearing, Devin sent everything. Emails, photos, recordings, financial records. To benefit with instructions to file for divorce in Massachusetts the moment Veronica made her move. He called Mia from a burner phone. I'll be unreachable for a few days. If anyone asks, I'm at that military contractor meeting in Washington. Is everything okay? Genuine concern filled her voice. Not yet, Devin replied. But it will be. As moonlight reflected off the still lake, Devin raised a glass to the memory of his father. The old man had been right all along. Trust must be earned and betrayal is never forgiven. The real war was just beginning. The morning after their anniversary, Veronica Walsh woke with a start. She reached for her phone and saw 3 missed calls from her father. She quickly dialed him back. Have you filed yet? Victor Harrington demanded without greeting. Hello to you too, Daddy. Veronica sighed, sliding out of bed. No, not yet. Sheffield says timing is crucial. You're running out of time. Noah's investors are getting impatient. Veronica caught her reflection in the vanity mirror. Still beautiful at 38. Thanks to expensive treatments Devin's money provided. Everything's under control. Devin's in Washington for at least 2 days. I've already transferred enough to keep your creditors at bay. After ending the call, Veronica showered and prepared for her day. She had a meeting with her attorney, then lunch with Noah. Everything was proceeding according to plan. Until it wasn't. At the bank, the manager's expression was apologetic but firm. I'm sorry, Mrs. Walsh, but these accounts required dual authorization for withdrawals now. That's impossible. Veronica insisted. I've been making withdrawals for years. The change was made yesterday, Mrs. Walsh. By your husband. Panic fluttered in her chest. She tried another account. Same result. She called her father. He knows. Victor said gravely. You need to file today. At Sheffield Law Partners, more bad news awaited. Their petition for divorce couldn't be filed because Devin Walsh had already filed in Massachusetts where they'd been married. How is that possible? Veronica demanded. He's in Washington. The attorney pulled up the filing on his computer. This was submitted electronically yesterday afternoon. It cites irreconcilable differences and infidelity. The blood drained from Veronica's face. What evidence? The attorney looked uncomfortable. Substantial evidence. Mrs. Walsh. Emails, photographs, recordings, her voice rose to a shriek. Of conversations with Mr. Prescott and your father regarding financial matters and intimate relations. Her phone rang. Noah, we have a problem, he said without preamble. Those contract specs you gave me, they're fakes. Veronica felt the floor to help beneath her. What? Fake information. The investors are pulling out. But that's not the worst part. Someone's been monitoring my communications about Walsh Engineering. By evening, Veronica had discovered the extent of Devin's counterattack. Joint credit cards canceled. Home security codes changed. Access to his office revoked. When she finally reached him on his cell, his voice was cold. Enjoy the house for now, Veronica. I'm sure you and Noah will be very happy there until the courts sort things out. Devin, please, this is all a misunderstanding. 3 steps ahead, Veronica. That's what my father taught me. Always stay 3 steps ahead of those who would betray you. The line went dead, leaving Veronica alone in the home that suddenly felt like a beautiful empty cage. Miles away in his lakeside sanctuary, Devin watched the sunset with a tumbler of bourbon. His phone buzzed with a text from Bennett. She tried to file. Too late. For the first time in days, Devin smiled. The game had only just begun. We need to destroy him, Veronica declared, pacing Noah's penthouse the next morning. He's made fools of us. Noah Prescott, with his angular features and tailored suit, projected confidence despite the panic in his eyes. At 45, he had the Prescott name, but none of the business acumen. He'd squandered his trust fund on failed ventures, counting on Veronica to deliver Walsh Engineering's profitable government contracts to save him. My contacts at the Times owe me a favor, Noah said. We can plant stories about Walsh Engineering's business practices. Not enough, Victor Harrington interrupted, his bulky frame dominating the doorway. A failed businessman clinging to past glory. Victor had pushed Veronica into marrying Devin years ago, seeing him as a meal ticket. We need to hit him where it hurts. His reputation with the military. I still have friends at the Pentagon. By week's end, their campaign was underway. A business reporter contacted Walsh Engineering about allegations of contract irregularities. A Defense Department procurement officer called about concerns regarding fulfillment capabilities. Social media buzzed with anonymous hints about the company's financial stability. Mia brought the clippings to Devin at the lake house. They're trying to tank the company, she said, concerned etching her features. Expected, Devin replied, scanning the articles. How's moral? Shaky. 3 engineers have already jumped ship. The Phillips contract is on hold, pending an investigation. Devin nodded. And Veronica moved most of her things to Noah's penthouse. She tried to access your home office, but the locks have been changed. Good, Devin said, though the confirmation of her betrayal still stunned. What about the plan? Mia handed him another folder. Everything's ready. Bennett filed the injunction this morning. Before their campaign could gain momentum, Veronica and Noah were served with cease and resist orders regarding any discussion of Walsh Engineering's business practices or contracts. Bennett's injunction cited malicious intent to damage business relationships. When that failed to stop them, Devon released selected recordings to key military contacts. Evidence that Noah had attempted to use stolen contract information for personal gain. Overnight, Noah Prescott became radioactive in defense circles. Desperate, Veronica approached Teresa Walsh at her courthouse. "Please, Teresa," she pleaded. "This has gone too far. Just tell me where Devon is so we can talk." Teresa's judicial reserve never wavered. 8 years you've been my sister-in-law, and I never once heard you express genuine interest in my brother's whereabouts. Only his assets. That's not fair. What's not fair is watching you plot to destroy someone who gave you everything." Teresa cut her off. "My father abandoned us. Did Devon ever tell you that? Left us with nothing but debts and broken promises. Devon worked 3 jobs to help put me through law school. He built something from nothing and you thought you could just take it?" Veronica's eyes narrowed. "He'll lose everything fighting me. Tell him that. He already lost what mattered when you betrayed him." Teresa replied. "Everything else is just property." As Veronica stormed off, Teresa texted Devon. "She came to me. Exactly as you predicted." The board meeting at Walsh Engineering was tense. Several directors suggested selling to a competitor before the damage spread. "Where's Devon?" demanded Roland Fletcher, the senior board member. "His absence during this crisis is unacceptable." The door opened and Devon Walsh entered, immaculately dressed in a charcoal suit. "Gentlemen, I apologize for my absence. Family matters required my attention." His calm authority silenced the room. "Now about these rumors." For the next hour, Devon systematically addressed each concern, revealing contingency contracts and strategic partnerships that would keep the company stable regardless of the current turbulence. "The Phillips contract?" Fletcher pressed. "Will be reinstated by Friday." Devon assured him. "The allegations have been traced to their source and discredited." After the meeting, Mia handed Devon a folder. Noah Prescott's financial records as requested. Inside was the evidence Devon needed. Noah had used the fake contract information to secure high-interest loans from questionable sources. When the information proved worthless, those lenders would come calling. Devon smiled grimly. The news was tightening. 3 weeks into his calculated disappearance from home, Devon felt the strain of his double life. By day, he maintained Walsh Engineering's stability against Veronica and Noah's attacks. By night, he retreated to the lake house, planning his next moves with Bennett and Mia. The company had weathered the worst of the storm, but not without casualties. The Phillips contract remained suspended. 2 smaller clients had pulled out entirely. The stock had dropped 17%. The board's getting nervous. Mia reported during their daily briefing at a discreet coffee shop. Fletcher's talking about a vote of no confidence. Devon rubbed his temples. The preliminary hearing isn't too weak. Bennett thinks we can expedite after that. Can the company hold that long? Before Devon could answer, his phone rang. Bennett. Judge Carter just issued a temporary freeze on all marital assets. Bennett said without preamble, including your company shares. How? We transferred. They're claiming fraudulent conveyance, arguing you moved assets in anticipation of divorce. Devon's jaw tightened. Options? We fight it, but it'll take time. Meanwhile, you're effectively locked out of your own company's decision-making. After hanging up, Devon stared at his cooling coffee. Veronica's attorney is better than we thought. Mia hesitated, then reached for his hand. Maybe it's time to settle. Save what you can and rebuild. No, Devon said firmly. My father rebuilt once. Watched another man take everything he'd worked for. I won't do the same. That night in his sparse lake house, Devon drank bourbon directly from the bottle. A rare lapse in control. His phone buzzed with a text from Teresa. Fletcher called an emergency board meeting for tomorrow. They're voting on interim leadership. Devon hurled the bottle against the wall, watching it shatter. Everything he built was slipping away while Veronica and Noah celebrated their victory. A knock at the door startled him. Nobody knew this location except Teresa. Mia stood on the porch, rain dripping from her coat. I followed Teresa, she admitted. We need to talk. Inside, she laid out papers on the kitchen table. During the audit, I found something. Noah Prescott has been quietly buying Walsh Engineering stock through shell companies. Combined with what Veronica might control after the asset freeze, they could take majority control. Devon finished the implications dawning. That was their plan all along. Not just divorce, but a hostile takeover. There's more, Mia said. The fake contract information you planted. Noah used it to secure funding from Anton Petrov. Devin whistled softly. Petrov was notorious in international finance. A Russian oligarch who didn't tolerate financial disappointments. Petrov's representatives have been calling Noah's office daily. He's desperate for cash. Devin's strategic mind clicked into gear. So desperate he might make a mistake. The next morning, Devin attended the emergency board meeting, stunning everyone with his appearance. "Gentlemen, I understand your concerns." He addressed the shocked directors. "My personal situation has created complications. However, before you vote, you should know Walsh Engineering has just secured an exclusive contract with the Naval Systems, $30 million over 5 years. He slid folders to each board member. Inside was confirmation of the contract, legitimate this time, that Devin had been quietly negotiating for months. I suggest we table the leadership discussion until next quarter when this contract begins generating revenue. The vote of no confidence was postponed. Devin had bought himself time, but he knew it was temporary. Outside the boardroom, he confronted Roland Fletcher. "You've been talking to Noah Prescott." Fletcher flinched. He made a compelling offer. "For my company or just for you, business is business, Devin. Nothing personal." Devin stepped closer. "My father taught me business is always personal. Remember that when this is over, back at the lake house," Devin called Bennett. "I need everything on Petrov's American operations. And I want Noah Prescott under surveillance 24/7. Bennett sounded worried. "Devin, you're entering dangerous territory. They crossed that line first." Devin replied. "Now they'll learn the price of betrayal." As he hung up, Devin felt a cold clarity replace his earlier despair. He'd been playing defense. Time to attack. "It's perfect," Devin said, examining the fabricated military contract documents Mia had prepared. The Walsh Engineering letterhead looked authentic, as did the Pentagon classification markings. "Are you sure about this?" Mia asked, unease evident in her voice. "If they discover it's fake, they won't look too closely," Devin assured her. "They'll see what they want to see, a lifeline." The classified contract detailed a $60 million project for drone guidance systems, lucrative, cutting-edge, and completely fictional. Operation Judas, Devin called it privately. The perfect bait for a desperate man. Mia planted the documents where Veronica's private investigator, whom Bennett had identified weeks ago, would find them during routine surveillance of Walsh Engineering. Additionally, Devin had to resubmention the classified project in a phone call she knew was being monitored. The trap was set. Now they waited. 48 hours later, Noah Prescott contacted Anton Petrov's representatives with guaranteed inside information about an imminent Walsh Engineering contract that would triple the company's value. Petrov, still angry about the previous failed intelligence, demanded verification. Noah provided copies of the planted documents and assured Petrov the information was solid. Petrov extended Noah a $20 million line of credit secured against Noah's remaining properties and his promised shares in Walsh Engineering. Meanwhile, Devin initiated Phase 2, Reconciliation Theater. He called Veronica. "I think we should talk," he said, keeping his tone neutral. "This has gone too far. Now you want to talk?" Veronica's voice dripped with suspicion. "After destroying my life, I want to end this war before we both lose everything." Devin replied. "The company's suffering. Let's find a settlement that works for everyone." The meeting was arranged at a neutral location, an upscale restaurant's private dining room. Bennett advised against it, but Devin was adamant. "She needs to see my face when it happens." The night before the meeting, Bennett called with news. "Federal agents contacted me about Walsh Engineering contracts being shopped to foreign investors. They want to talk to you. Stall them for 48 hours. Devin instructed. "Then I'll tell them everything." "What exactly are you planning, Devin?" Just as he replied simply. That same evening, Noah Prescott received an alarming call from his broker. Walsh Engineering stock was plummeting on rumors of contract irregularities. Noah immediately tried transferring Petrov's funds to cover his positions, but the transactions were mysteriously delayed. Panicking, Noah called Veronica. "Something's wrong. The contract info might be bad." "That's impossible," Veronica insisted. "I saw the documents myself." "Well, someone's talking to the feds. We need to cover our tracks." Unbeknownst to them, federal investigators were already monitoring these calls, tipped off anonymously about potential securities fraud in the unauthorized sharing of classified information. The morning of the meeting, Devin prepared meticulously. He dressed in his best suit, positioning a small recording device in his pocket. This would be his only chance. Veronica arrived at the restaurant looking immaculate but strained. The weeks of legal battles had taken their toll. "You look well," she said coldly as Devon stood to greet her. "Appearances can be deceiving," he replied, gesturing for her to sit. "Something we both understand." After ordering drinks, Devon placed a folder on the table. "My settlement offer." Veronica scanned the document, her expression hardening. "This is insulting. I get the vacation home in a one-time payment. After 8 years during which you were planning to take everything." Devon countered. "Or should we discuss the affairs? Noah, the tennis instructor, the ex-boyfriend in Vegas." "You bastard," she hissed. "You have no proof that would stand up in court." Devon smiled thinly. "I'm not talking about divorce court." He slid another document across the table. "I'm talking about federal court. Securities fraud. Conspiracy. Wire fraud." The color drained from Veronica's face as she read the federal complaint naming her and Noah as defendants. "You wouldn't," she whispered. "I already have," Devon said quietly. "The only question is whether you'll be implicated as a co-conspirator or a cooperating witness." As if on cue, Veronica's phone rang. Noah frantic. Federal agents had just left his office with boxes of documents. The trap had snapped shut. The federal investigation moved with surprising speed, fueled by the mountain of evidence Devon had methodically compiled. Noah Prescott was indicted on multiple counts of securities fraud, wire fraud, and conspiracy. Facing 20 years in federal prison, he quickly sought a deal, offering to testify against anyone involved, including Veronica. Veronica, confronted with recordings, emails, and Noah's impending testimony, agreed to Bennett's original settlement terms. The vacation home in Lake Tahoe, a one-time payment of $500,000, and a complete surrender of any claims to Walsh Engineering or other marital assets. The divorce was finalized 4 months after Devon discovered her betrayal. Roland Fletcher and 2 other board members resigned after the Securities and Exchange Commission opened inquiries into their communications with Noah Prescott. The Naval Systems Command contract, however, was real, and with the cloud of uncertainty lifting, Walsh Engineering's stock rebounded. 6 months after his middle-of-the-night discovery, Devon sat in his restored corner office watching San Francisco glitter below. A knock at the door interrupted his thoughts. "Come in," he called. Victor Harrington entered, looking diminished from when Devon had last seen him at a charity gala over a year ago. "You've got 5 minutes," Devon said coldly. "I came to appeal to your better nature." Victor began. "Veronica has lost everything. Her reputation, her future." "She lost nothing she didn't willingly risk," Devon interrupted. "She can aspire to take everything I built. She cheated repeatedly. She leaked confidential information that could have destroyed this company and sent me to prison. What exactly should my better nature offer her? She's living in a 1-bedroom apartment in Oakland," Victor persisted. "Working as a receptionist, surely after 8 years of marriage." "After 8 years of lies," Devon corrected. "The answer is no. She made her choices." After Victor left, Mia entered with coffee. "Everything okay?" "Victor thinks I should show mercy," Devon said with a wry smile. "And my father always said mercy is for those who show remorse, not those who got caught." He took the coffee gratefully. "How are the new contracts looking?" "Promising," Mia said, sitting across from him. Over the months of crisis, their relationship had evolved from professional to something more complex, built on shared battles and unwavering loyalty. The Defense Department audit came back clean. "We're cleared for the guided missile project." Devon nodded, satisfaction evident, and no one. "Sentencing next week. His lawyers are pushing for minimum security. But with the Petrov connection, it's unlikely." The intercom bust. "Mr. Walsh, there's a Veronica Harrington asking to see you." Devon and Mia exchanged glances. She'd already revered to her maiden name. "Send her up," Devon said after a moment. Veronica entered, a shadow of her former polished self. Designer clothes replaced by department store basics. Premium highlights grown out. "I'll give you privacy," Mia offered, rising. "No," Devon said firmly. "Anything she has to say, you can hear." Veronica's eyes flickered between them. Understanding dawning. "So that's how it is. Your loyal assistant." "What do you want, Veronica?" Devon asked, ignoring the jab. "A second chance," she said, her voice breaking. "I've lost everything. My father's company is bankrupt. Noah's going to prison. I'm alone. And that's supposed to move me." Devon replied evenly. "You plotted my destruction for years. Used me. Betrayed me with multiple men. Conspired to steal my company. I made terrible mistakes." She admitted, tears flowing now. "But we had good years too. We could again." "No." Devin cut her off. We couldn't. I don't hate you anymore. Veronica, I feel nothing for you at all. Her face hardened. You orchestrated all of this. Set us up. Ruined us. I'm merely ensured you face the consequences of your own actions. Devin corrected. That's justice. Not vengeance. After she left, Mia placed a hand on Devin's shoulder. Are you okay? I will be. He replied, covering her hand with his own. That night Devin returned to his new condo overlooking the bay. The house in Pacific Heights had too many ghosts. A text from Bennett flashed on his phone. Noah got 12 years. No parole for at least 8. Devin poured himself a bourbon and raised it to his father's memory. Trust must be earned. Betrayal is never forgiven. The old man would be proud. 1 year later, the Walls Engineering corporate retreat at Lake Tahoe brought together employees from all divisions to celebrate the company's most profitable year yet. Under clear blue skies, teams competed in friendly competitions while executives discussed expansion plans. Devin watched from the deck of the main lodge, formerly his and Veronica's vacation home. Now company property, the past 18 months had transformed both him and his business. The crucible of betrayal had burned away complacency, forging something stronger. Penny for your thoughts, Teresa said, joining him with a glass of wine, just appreciating the view. Devin replied, and the peace. You earned it. His sister said, though I worried about you for a while there. Devin nodded. The darkness that had consumed him during those months of plotting had scared them both. I needed to see it through. Dad would have done the same to research knowledge, though maybe with less finesse. They shared a laugh, remembering their father's more direct approach to problems. Speaking of finesse, Teresa nodded toward the beach where Mia was organizing a volleyball game. When are you going to make that official? Devin smiled. His relationship with Mia had evolved gradually over the past year, built on the foundation of shared battles and proven loyalty. We're taking it slow. No rush. The retreat culminated in a beachside dinner where Devin announced a company-wide profit-sharing program in expansion into 3 new markets. As employees celebrated, Bennett pulled him aside. Thought you'd want to know Noah Prescott was denied his appeal. He'll serve the full 12 years. Devin nodded, feeling neither joy nor remorse. And Veronica moved to Phoenix. Working in real estate seems to be starting over. Good for her. Devin said, genuinely meaning it. His need for revenge had been satisfied. Now he wished only to move forward. Later that evening, as the party wound down, Devin walked along the moonlit shore with Mia. Successful weekend, she observed, their hands brushing as they walked. Very. Devin agreed, finally taking her hand in his. The company stronger than ever. And its CEO, Devin considered the question. Wiser. More cautious about trust, but also more appreciative when it's earned. Mia stopped, turning to face him. Is that what I've done? Earned your trust. That and more. Devin admitted, the wall around his heart finally beginning to crumble. You stood by Mia, my worst. Saw what I was capable of and didn't run. What you were capable of was protecting what you built. Mia said firmly, there's no shame in that. Devin leaned down and kissed her, gently at first, then with growing confidence. When they parted, both were smiling. So what now? Mia asked. Now we build something new. Devin replied, together, but with better foundations. As they walked back toward the lodge, Devin's phone buzzed with a text. He checked it briefly, then switched it off entirely. Who was that? Mia asked. Nobody important. Devin said truthfully. The message from Veronica's new number would go unanswered. I still think about what might have been. Do you ever wonder? He didn't. The past was settled. Its accounts balanced. Justice had been served, cold and complete. Now, finally, Devin Walsh was ready to look forward. 3 steps ahead of the past that had tried to destroy him. Trust must be earned. Betrayal is never forgiven. But life, he was learning, continued regardless. And with the right people beside you, it could be better than before.